Mistimed.
Mistimed. Well, with that mistiming, I want to welcome everybody to Crashing Game Night. My name is Matt Diorio, your host, as always. Tonight, we are joined by voice actor and the voice of Daruk in Breath of the Wild and Boucheron and Fire Emblem, Joe Hernandez.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
And for his last stream in the kind of fine state of Arizona, the beanied one, Gerard Barrera.
Hello, everybody. What's up, all my nerds? Oh man, Joe, I'm excited. You're looking at a huge Zelda fan, so bro, thank you so much for joining.
We'll get to bro down a little bit.
All right,
We will.
Right on, dude.
And finally, the maitre d' services, the man with the couch, the man, the myth, the legend, the lion's mane, Jason Belledio.
There he is.
How's it going, guys? I'm sorry I was a little late. That's on me. That's on me. Mistimed.
It's all right.
Okay. But how's it going, guys?
Fashionably
How's
late.
it
Fashionably.
going? Another night. Mr. Joe, thank you so much for joining us today. Welcome to the couch, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome to the couch. So, Joe, how are you doing? You've been busy as of late.
busy, man. It does not end. There's tons of things going on. I mean, first of all, I'm a freelance voice actor, so you're kind of like 7-Eleven. You're open 24 hours, 7 days a week. You know, it things come up, so you just have to roll with them. You know, people in different time zones hitting you up, different, parts of the world. So it's yeah, that's a bunch of craziness. Plus, I'm also got a family. I got a wife, got 2 kids, got my job over at Disneyland. I do character voices over there, so it's insane, man.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
it's a really, really cool gig, man. So
Do the kids realize it's your voice?
not really. Like my daughter, she just turned 5 and she's like starting to kind of piece it together. Like she kind of knows, like she's like kind of connecting the dots, but she's still at that age where it's like, no, like,
There's no way.
yeah, there's no way. And
Yeah.
my daughter said something that was like a total, it just like it melted my heart the other day, where we were watching like the Muppets and like Muppet Babies and everything like that. And they had like a segment where they had the actual Muppets there talking with the opposite human beings there. It wasn't cartoon or anything like that.
Yep.
And she turns to me and says, Daddy, are Muppets real? And I was like, yes, of course, honey. Yeah, of course. And she's like, I'd like to meet them. And like, oh my God, like where can I, do a meet and greet with the Muppets? Like, please, like tell me.
That's awesome.
Right away. Like, and I immediately looked up, like, does the Jim Henson studio do like any sort of tours or anything like that? Like can we, like, when's the next like thing with the Muppets that's going on? Like, but yeah, just something like that, like as a father, just like melt your heart so much. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, the only thing that I know of as of recently is at Disney World or Florida.
Yeah.
They still have the Muppet Theater show going on.
That's a big one.
It was
a couple
good.
of summers ago, they did Muppets live at the Hollywood Bowl, and my wife and I went to go see that, and that was
Oh, sweet.
nice.
it was such a great show. My daughter wasn't even born yet, but if they ever do that again, like absolutely take tickets to that. Like
Definite.
absolutely love that.
Oh,
Yeah, I grew up watching them on TV.
yeah.
Back in the 80s.
I mean, it's it's such like
And-
a nostalgic thing, like with all of us, It's like, man,
best. I mean, come on, the old guys sitting up in the balcony. You got
Oh, they're the
Phenomena.
best. Oh, I love those two. They're the best.
So Joe, let's for our listeners out there, let's kind of give them a little bit of a highlight, part of your career. Some only know you as Daruk, from Breath of the Wild. And, some people, when it was kind of announced, when you put it out on Twitter that you were Boucheron and Fire Emblem Engage, I was like, I just got you in the game.
Boucheron.
Yeah. I do have to apologize. He's not in my main group for the story, but he's in my skirmish group though. Like the ones I
read it
roll
all,
with
man.
the big
There's
skirmishes.
a lot of love for Boucheron out there.
Yeah.
There's a
He's in
lot of-
circulation.
There
You
is.
got him. He's in your circulation.
Yeah.
I mean the amount of people that are shipping him, and it's like it
Oh
is
yeah.
insane, man. And I'm here for it. I'm along for the ride.
I love
Right
the
on.
conversations with him in the game. It's just from a crew perspective, I've never been really one for the axe wielders in the Fire Emblem games. I've always been lances, swords, and the bows. And I have a crew that is just an absolute wrecking crew right now that it's like with some of these battles I got to stick with. But
I'm kind of a Fire Emblem newbie. Like I've never really had that much exposure to Fire Emblem outside of like say maybe Smash Brothers. So like my knowledge of the universe was very on the peripheral. But I did get a chance to play a little bit of Engage a little bit, and I haven't finished it yet. But I do like sort of the paper scissors dynamic between the swords, the lances, the axes, and all that. I was like, okay, that makes it really interesting from like a strategy perspective.
Oh, absolutely. And for me though, I've got 2 archers, so I park them right behind my tanks. And
go.
just rain fire. I've got one that crits for 220 on average with 1 shot.
Oh man.
Yeah. So anyway, so you've also, with regards to game releases, you were in Octopath Traveler too.
Yeah, that just came out. What was it, like last week, 2 weeks ago? And
yeah.
I was lucky enough to be brought on, kind of doing a bunch of various additional voices on that. I mean, it's great to be able to work on that. I think I did like a 4-hour session on that, and we just did like a bunch of just random characters and just kind of filled out the universe and stuff like that. And it's a fun sandbox to play in, man. I mean,
yeah,
like they told me, I was like, okay, you're doing Octopath Traveler too. It's like, oh man, like, and so already, like there's some weight that goes into that. I mean, a lot of the fans were there's a big following between the first one and Bravely Default and all. It was just like it was like, okay, you got to bring it, man. And so there are times where sometimes they'll tell you the name of the game that you're working on. It's like they're not putting pressure on you, but you put pressure on yourself because you know how much the fans love it and what the following is like. And it's like, dude, you really have to bring your A game. So that's what it is sometimes. Working on Zelda Breath of the Wild, the people over at Nintendo were super supportive. They flew down from Seattle and they were there for a bunch of the sessions. And again, everybody there at that point in time when you're recording, and especially on a game like this, everybody wants you to succeed. Everybody wants you to do the best work that you possibly can. And so again, the pressure that I was feeling for a title such as that was not put on by them or the director. It is 1000% self-inflicted. And I say that because I grew up playing, The Legend of Zelda on NES. I've played, the Ocarina of Time on N64, Wind Waker, all that. I grew up. So and for this, that being the first Zelda game with voice acting in it, I mean, it's like, there's a lot of pressure. And again, you want to hit it out of the park 1000% when you go and work on something like that. So, I mean, again, like I said, the pressure that you feel sometimes is like really self-inflicted. And I've had it where, we would wrap up a session and I would go to my car. And I was still pretty early in my career at that point in time. That was like one of the very first video games I ever worked on. And I was just like, dude, what am I doing? Like, it's one of these like pinch me moments where, I vividly remember as a 5-year-old playing on the NES. And now I am a grown ass man interacting with my childhood, for the lack of a better term. And believe me, man, it is not lost on me.
Yeah,
what is your favorite? What's your favorite Zelda?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Wind Waker. I know it's real close.
Yes.
I mean, it's like it is definitely between Wind Waker and Ocarina of Time.
Yes, that's my dilemma. Same dilemma, man.
Oh, good. And for me, Wind Waker, the animations, that was just so
Oh, that's exactly how I fell in love with it too. The moment I saw the first trailer, I'm like, done. I'm buying it.
and there were a bunch of people that hated on the style at the time. If you remember when the game came out, it was like,
It was, yeah, it was.
Toon Link, there was a bunch of that, but playing it and like just the sort of open worldness of being able to sail all over, and the music was beautiful, the animation was beautiful. Like, how could you not fall in love with that game? It's just so beautiful and charming, and like the supporting cast were just so rich. And again, I can't remember if it was Ocarina of Time or Wind Waker, but when Link goes and meets the Gorons at that point in time, remember as a 13-year-old playing it, and it was like, what? Like, who are these people? And it was fascinated with the Gorons at that point in time. Never in a million years could I have.
It's so awesome, man.
Thought you were going to play
same exact one. I always go between either Wind Waker or Ocarina. Those are my top two.
Those are as they
I also just wanted to say it's a bummer that you had to go through that kind of doubt while you were going through the project. But may I just say, from all of us as the fans, like, dude, you knocked it out of the park.
Thanks.
Breath of the Wild. It's obviously the reason why it's like the hit that it is. And yeah, man, it's the first time like these characters have voices, and you're bringing those characters to life. And it was just so immersive and such a wonderful performance from all of you guys. So
I know Sean and I have talked about that, because we're like, of the group of us, I think we're probably the two bigger gamers of the bunch. And it's like, there's a certain level of pressure and responsibility that you put on yourself working on a title such as this. And you want to knock it out of the park, man. You want to do the absolute best work you can.
For Daruk, where did your inspiration come for the voice?
So when we were doing the initial auditions, and again, they never said, hey, you're auditioning for Zelda. They never said like, hey, this is the project. They just said it was fantasy, medieval. And so I knew that it was a Nintendo game, but I didn't know anything past that. And at this point, nothing new Zelda had been announced. There was nothing, like, hey, there's a new title coming. There's a new friggin' system that's coming. Like, we knew none of that.
Right.
So it's like, well, your mind starts to think like, is it a new Fire Emblem game? Like, okay, they want fantasy, they want medieval. And so working with Jamie Mortellaro, who ended up casting and directing the game, he painted this very vivid picture of this big, bolsterous guy. And I pictured kind of like this barbarian, kind of a just physical mass of a person, and he's like just this, I think the inspiration that Jamie wanted me to strive for was like Gimli from Lord of the Rings.
Nice. Nice. I love it.
He's just big, larger than life, bolsterous, this huge personality. But there's also sort of a gentle giantness if you really think about it. And that was like, oh my God, it painted such a clear picture of where I wanted to go with this character, the gentle giant. Absolutely, 1,000%. And that's what I led with. And I hope that's what came across to everybody else.
I think everybody nailed their characters.
Yeah.
And really, for me, knowing Patricia, knowing Sean, knowing Amelia, knowing Elizabeth, I mean, and it is a credit to Jamie and his casting, because I think we really do live and breathe a lot of these characters. We're, if you've ever met Amelia, who voices Mifa, she's a delicate flower. She's very soft spoken, very shy. And she, again, it is her to a T. And again, it just the lot of us, I think we really fill out those roles for these characters. And like I said, I cannot give enough credit to Amy, because he found us and he brought us together like a little family. So
Mifa is out of the champions, Mifa is my favorite. One, I've always been partial to like the Lancers and stuff like that, but also too, as you look at the story they crafted for Mipha and Link
Yeah.
in that game,
Yeah.
is just, it's like you always, throughout all the games, you always think that it's Zelda and Link. They're like that, Mario and Peach. And then they come up with the story, and it's Mipha and Link.
Yeah.
That has that true bond going, and it's always connected with me. And then when you look at some of your other highlights really quick, is Transformers War for Cybertron.
Man,
Sweet game.
that was fun.
No, the show Cheetor.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Oh, no way.
yeah.
Oh, sweet.
And then we'll dive into Jason's realm of the world in anime with Seven Deadly Sins.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one. Sorry.
My man. Really, in anime, the one that I'm probably most known for is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the one that I people ask me about the most, and I don't do a lot of anime, but I do. Having worked on JoJo's, that's the big one for me. That was the one that I really, really loved working on.
So what made you pursue a career in voiceover?
I mean, I had always loved performing. I'd always loved acting. That was something that I couldn't really see myself doing anything else. And this was from an early age. And it's funny because, if I remember my time as a student back in high school, I was very soft spoken. I was kind of shy. I was kind of that, guy in the back that a lot of people think, oh, okay, actors, they're the class clowns. They're the stand-up comedians. They're the ones that are always raising hell and big and bolsterous and all that. And that just wasn't me. That was never my style. But you put me up on stage and I can act my ass off, man. So I went to college, got a degree in theater, and really honed my craft, and I worked on my tools. And again, I was exposed to so much. My world grew at that point. Graduating from college with my BA in theater, I quickly learned, unfortunately, unless you are on a Broadway show or on a national tour, it is damn near impossible to make a living as an actor. It is hard, man. It is real hard. You got to scrap by and be very resourceful. And while I was in college, I went out for an audition at Disneyland to do these shows. One of them was Talk to Stitch, where you go and have like a Skype session with Stitch in like a picture booth and all that stuff. And I was like, well, this is kind of like theater. I mean, I'm playing a character, and I'm it's an animated character, but I'm playing a character. The other one was also as Crush, the sea turtle from Finding Nemo. So if you ever go,
oh, sweet. I love that interactive show. That was cool.
I may have talked to you as
oh, that's so cool.
That's crazy.
That's awesome.
That was really like my gateway into voiceover, because it's like, I graduated, I'd been working there, and I was able to use all the tools that I had learned in my theater classes. And I was like, no, this is some really good. I was able to flex those chops and do all those things that I'd learned and apply myself. Once I graduated, I kind of kicked it around for a little while, and I was like, you know what, I think I'm going to try this voiceover thing. I think I'm gonna really commit to it and maybe try to make a career out of it. So I started getting serious about it, and just started taking classes. My parents got on my butt after I graduated college about like, oh, hey, do you want to do a master's program? Do you want to get a MFA? Do you want to do any of that stuff? And at that point in time, I was so burnt out from school, where I was like, it was not, no, that was not going to happen. However, all these voiceover classes that I was taking, I loved it. It was the bug. Like it reignited my passion for performing, and that to me was my master's program. That was my MFA program. And the thing about theater, or if you're choosing to do like film or anything, one of those on camera roles, you could just play this. This is it. This is what you do. For voiceover, you can play literally anything. You know, with whatever how far your imagination will take you. You can do it, man. And to me, that was more appealing. That was so much more appealing to just be able to stretch and have that free reign. You know, I loved it.
So with doing those character interactions, have you ever had a time where somebody made you almost break character?
I mean, there are times, you know, there are times where kids will say something, parents will say something. I mean, I've been there a long time now, so it's pretty hard to break, but every once in a while, there are things that will happen. I don't know how much into the specifics I want to go into, but I can tell you, just for all of us that work there as the performers, I mean, the amount of one-upsmanship and like the amount that we each other, that's a regular thing. That is just a regular thing.
That's awesome.
And it's a great, you know, quote unquote locker room to be a part of. Just having that camaraderie amongst us performers, where we constantly push ourselves and drive ourselves to be as creative and you know, like I said, make the best shows possible, man. So yeah,
it's strengthening that tool, because you're obviously trying to one up each other. You're sharpening your chops. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
So
and not just that too. It's just, you know, the interaction's always live, and it's just like this back and forth banter that you just
that too. It's
all of a sudden, like, you know, like
and all that.
right off the top
That's
of your
cool.
head. Or
and the thing is, you know, I've been there now 19 years, and the thing I've learned is sometimes you just kind of have to let people be people. Sometimes people are just funny on their own. You don't have to try that hard. You know, I mean, what do they say? Kids say the darndest things. Just, you know, let people be themselves, and you'd be surprised how far that takes you. And it also speaks to, I mean, again, kind of coming full circle with everything, it speaks to how comfortable that some of these kids and even some of these adults are with like sharing things about their personal life, or like, you know, they'll say things where it's like, wow, okay, I mean, you must feel really comfortable talking to me, so okay. Again, I'm not saying any specifics or any stories or anything like that, but you know, again, just like, wow, okay, you told me that, like, oh, okay, you're dishing the dirt, or you're spilling the tea, as it were. So yeah, it's crazy, man.
So when you look at your career at this point, is if someone were to be looking to get into voiceover work, what would be one of your biggest recommendations?
Say yes.
Like how to get into it. Just say yes.
Say yes to as many opportunities as you possibly can, especially early on. I mean, there are actors that I meet, because I also teach voiceover, and there are some actors that I meet that are like, I just want to do anime, or I just want to do video games. And that's well and good, and that's nice, and it's great to have those ambitions. And in a perfect world, you know, God bless you. Yeah, you can make a living doing just that. But the reality is, I think you need to open yourself up to as many opportunities as you possibly can. I do audiobooks. I do audio description. I do e-learning. I do, you know, you name it, I do it, man. Like corporate narration. You know, when companies are updating their new sexual harassment policy for 2023, like, again, and look, some of that stuff is boring. Some of that stuff is like, oh man, you know, really, like, you know,
amen.
I laugh because my company just did the 2023.
Same. So we're just like, okay, I kind of get that.
Yeah.
So I mean, but you have to do that stuff. Like those are the things that sometimes will get you by, and then once in a while you get to do something really fun, really cool. And those are the things that, like, oh man, those are the things that fulfill your heart, that you know, like, just fill your passion, and just, it's like, oh man, this is why I love doing it. But like, you know, not every job is Fire Emblem, you know, not every job is like
or Zelda, or
yeah.
So that's all I'll say about that, is starting off early on and just say yes to as many opportunities as you possibly can, because you
get that experience.
You never know where things are going to take you, you know. Just be good at making friends, be good at just, listening and observing and taking it all in. That's my bit of advice.
So how's it feel when you see people posting art and just making posts in general about the characters you play and what they mean to those people?
It's fulfilling. I mean, it really is. It's something special because here is this character that I have invested in emotionally, and now you see it. It's like this thing that you hold on to, and then when the game finally comes out, it's like, okay, now it's out there, it's in the open, and sometimes it's a hit with people, sometimes it's not. And I'm not even talking about like from a voice acting perspective. Sometimes the games are glitchy, sometimes there are issues with like things being buggy, or like there's so much work that goes into making a game that gamers are going to love. And so when it is a hit, when it is something that people really click with, man, I mean, that really is something special. It's great to do the work, and that's all well and good, but knowing that it resonates with someone, that it touches someone, that it affects their life, that it's something that they can connect with, dude, I mean, come on, that's next level stuff right there. I was doing a convention years ago at SAC Anime, and there were two people I mean, I remember to this day. There was one guy, he was like, you're the only Latino in Zelda. Like this, we need to see more in representation in video games. And I mean, damned if it didn't hit me,
Wow.
So, and it's like, dude, that means something. That's huge. That means something to me as an artist, as a gamer. That means something.
Yeah.
The other interaction that I had with a guest was, there was this woman. She came up, and her son, I think, was autistic, and she said, and I got a sense that she, it was rough life. It's just look, being a parent is rough. I can't even imagine what it's like caring for a son or a daughter that might be, and so that just creates another level. And she said, when he plays this game, it does something for him. It gives him happiness, it gives him joy, it gives him, it takes, and even for her as the mother, takes her mind off of just all the stress and all the hardship that comes with living a life like that. There was a guy that I found on Twitter. Rory Steele was his name, and his son and his daughter, they're wheelchair bound. And so if you follow Xbox, one of the things that they have is like their special controller. For people with like
the adaptive controller.
Controller. And so, credit to Microsoft for coming out with that. He said his daughter wanted to play Zelda. Nintendo doesn't have anything like that. So, and he's like an engineer. So he was able to like reverse engineer the Xbox adaptive controller to like retrofit it for a Switch. So that his daughter and his son, who are both, wheelchair bound, they were able to play. And dude,
that's awesome.
That was just that I reached out to the guy, connected with him, we keep in touch every now and then on Twitter, but I was like, I feel so strongly and passionate about what you've done, because it is tremendous. It is that's a huge force of good. And so
that's so cool.
I got some of the other cast together, and we like signed some prints, signed some figures, like we just like wrote some letters to him and his family, and it was just like, dude,
nice.
So knowing that your work can really resonate with people on that level, man.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you mean. It's like the gaming community, there's always a lot of people that's like, oh, it's like a waste of time, but there's so many people that just bring it together, that just, they come together because we all have this one love for a series, or we have this one love for certain games, certain characters. It's just it's like one of the best communities out there, where you can just no matter where you go, you're like, hey, you know what? Like once you go to a con, you're like, oh my God, like I love this game too. And you instantly like connect with somebody. I mean, like that's how me and Jerry literally met Matt and Theo.
Yep.
Like at an E3.
Standing in line.
At an E3,
For Disney
standing in
Infinity.
line. And just like, dude, like, oh man, like they like this. Oh.
It was
like
just, all in conversation. Yeah.
And here we are. What is it? Almost 10 years later.
Wow.
Almost, yeah.
2014.
Yeah, almost 10, like 9 years, but almost 10 years
And
later, just still.
Hawkeye is on my sitting right back
nice.
there as a reminder.
How it all started. And like Matt was able to take photographs like literally last minute because we were kind of looking for a photographer for my wedding. And it's just this is the gaming community that just comes together. And you know, like that's why we always love having you guys, the voice actors, on, because you guys put the voices behind those big characters, you know, like we always like, oh man, like that's like a perfect sound for like so-and-so character. And for Daruk, it's just like, you know what, like you do get this like this macho guy that's just like, you know what, I'm gonna pave the way for you guys, but still like do it because he cares, you know.
There's still that softer side. You get all those elements from the performance.
So speaking of,
go on. Sorry.
Go ahead, Joe.
No.
Go ahead.
Just saying real quick, like there's been a big debate that's been going on in the voiceover community. I know people like just, you know, AI has been like the thing that's been taking over so much, you know, and I've seen the AI artwork and the AI that's they've been trying to do more AI voiceover. Like I've seen like that people kind of what's going on and all that stuff. And it, like, you know, for us as voice actors, our voice is sort of our signature. You know, it's something that is uniquely you, is what makes you. And you know, when you lend your voice to a character, you're trying to give a soul to that character. That is really what our job is just try to, you know, give it life, give it a soul, and try to tap into that basic human connection. So that I hope that this AI thing goes away. I hope you know, voice actors just are here to stay and stay here as long as we possibly can.
Well, to kind of give you maybe a little bit of hope, my company, who's been in IT for a very, very long time, has banned, as of right now, ChatGPT and AI.
That's again, that means a lot,
because of a lot of it is the ethical dilemmas that are going on right now. You know, you look at what happened with Microsoft's chatbot suggesting on how to take over the world. You know, it's stuff like that. I'm like, you know, they talked about it in T2. It's called Skynet. We were warned. We were warned. But no, so speaking of kids though, and everything, you know, we've got to get you going, family time and everything like that. So before you go, I want to ask you one question we ask all of our guests.
Okay.
Going all the way back to 2019, our first guest, is that when you are able to have a game night with family and friends, what is your favorite game to play? Regardless if it's board game, card game, video game, whatever it is, what is that favorite game to play? Man.
What is the family game night that like starts off the night, or what is your like?
Or the friend game night, or the friend game night.
I got two answers. There's the family game night, and then there's the friend game night.
Yeah,
sweet. I love it.
All right, let's do it.
Family game night is probably going to be Candyland. I'll be
real.
I got a 5-year-old daughter. Look, it's Candy.
Cool.
It's that. Look, there's, and then we might move on to like Trouble, or you know, what is it, like Junior Monopoly or something like that. You know, but you better believe Land is going to be.
Those are still classics.
Yeah, dude, they hold up.
You know?
Talking with the friends, we got to play some Settlers of Catan. That's that's
man.
I haven't played it in a while, but it is one of my favorite board
games. Don't worry.
There's tons.
Neither is Jerry.
I still like playing it.
King of Tokyo is one of my favorite board games, man.
Oh, interesting.
That's a solid.
There's something about like the King of the Monsters, Godzilla, King Kong, like it's just it clicks with
Just
me. And I love it.
domination.
Yeah.
Domination.
There are other
Nice.
board games out there. There are other games that
Mhm.
might be more fun or you know, more whatever. But you know, for my money, King of Tokyo, yeah, can't go wrong.
Nice. Well,
Cool.
Jerry won't play Settlers with me anymore, so
I'll still play
Dude,
it.
it's
I'll still play it. I just need time.
do you, okay,
I'm
wait,
ruthless.
before you
I'm
That was
leave,
ruthless.
Joe, do you think
That was rough.
Catan or Monopoly is more of a friend killer?
Oh man, they're neck and neck. It is right there, man. I'm gonna say Catan can be pretty cutthroat, man.
Yeah.
Only because like there is that more personal element. Because if once you get I think the thief, right?
The
like
thief. Once the thief jumps
straight up.
around.
be ruthless,
Yeah.
which you can.
I'm just
Down,
curious
Jerry.
asking you, Joe. I'm just curious asking you, Joe, because you know, as the current reigning CGN
Oh my God.
Monopoly champion,
Let it go.
I just want to know, like, you know, I'm gonna start asking them as well. 'Cause I honestly, I think Catan is more of a friend killer than Monopoly. Everyone's like, oh, dude, Monopoly, like, you're gonna lose friends. Like, no, dude, if you play Catan, like,
I think Catan.
I have seen some feelings be hurt in Catan.
yeah,
Yeah.
I will upheave the table. I'll be like, dude,
Yep.
I just want brick. Give me a brick. I will give you 3 goats for this brick. And they're like, nah, bro.
Nah,
And
I'm
they're
good,
like,
dude.
What
I'm
the
good.
heck?
I'm chilling with my 5 bricks right now. I'm not even gonna use them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah, totally.
So,
Yeah, Monopoly's
So
cut
Joe,
and
I want
dry,
to.
but Catan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Good
Monopoly is
for
cut
now.
and dry.
Yeah.
For me, it's a tie between Catan and Ticket to Ride.
Oh,
See,
okay.
Ticket
In
to Ride
terms
is more
of
strategy.
friend
though.
killers.
Mhm.
No, but go ask my wife. She will just realize, hey, I'm not gonna be able to finish my route, so she will do whatever she can to just screw everybody else over.
Well, that's
So,
a
so
strategic move.
So with that, Joe, you know, I want to thank you for joining us tonight. I know it was short notice and whatnot, but it fit with your schedule.
Yes.
You are welcome back anytime when you've got the time. Just hit me on up and say, hey, what are you guys doing tonight? You are more than welcome to come on when you've got the time.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
And thank you,
We'll talk more
thank you
gaming
so
and
much
whatnot.
for sharing your knowledge too. You know, we always ask, you know, our guests to kind of share like how they started, what would be a good entry point to try and look at or
Yep.
trying to start if you're interested. So thank you very much for all your information.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, man. I do these things, you know, I do people's podcasts from time to time, and sometimes it's pulling teeth or it's like, oh, okay, this is rough. With you guys, it's really chill, really easy. I mean, the time flew by real quick.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
I
dude,
know.
it's a game night
And
for
I
us, man.
appreciate that.
Absolutely.
I was watching the clock and I'm like, wait a second, how is it
I couldn't believe
already
it too. Yeah.
half past?
You guys are real easy to get along with.
Oh, thank you so
Yeah.
much, man.
Absolutely. It's very appreciated. And like I said, you come back anytime. You know, when
Yeah.
you've got that time, just hit me up. Even if honestly, Joe, even if you got like 20 minutes, you want to come crash, hit me up.
That's the whole
You're
point.
more
Come
than
crash,
welcome to
dude.
join.
Shoot.
It's the whole
Shoot
point
on
of
it.
it.
You'll
And,
see me again down the line.
Oh,
Right
yeah,
on.
absolutely. And for those that want to, you know, more information on Joe, head over to crashinggamenight.com. Under our contributors and guest page, we already have a profile on up there for Joe already with a link to his website and whatnot. So go check that on out. With that,
Nice.
Joe, we'll let you get on out of here.
Yeah.
For having me,
Anything?
guys.
Any
you so
last
much,
shout
bud.
outs
All right.
that you want to like?
Yeah,
throw out
any
there?
shout outs or promos or
Oh gosh. Stay hit me up on Twitter because again, one of the things that I do, and you probably know this, Matt, is anytime I
Yep.
do something that I'm involved with, like a game, like if like I'll do like a giveaway where like I'll do a raffle
Mhm.
amongst my Twitter followers, like, hey,
Oh,
like I did
cool.
one with Fire Emblem where I was like, hey, I'm giving out, I'll raffle out a signed
Mhm.
copy. Or
oh sweet.
Daruk amiibo came out. I was like,
Yep.
let me raffle out. So again, you just never know. So just like, I want to reward people
Yeah.
that stick it out and follow me and stuff like that. And it's just one of those ways to kind of celebrate it. So just sit tight. I'm sure there's gonna be a really cool giveaway real soon. So,
Yeah, well, and we'll have it on the
Sweet.
page, but give it a little shout out to the ones that are audio
Oh, yeah.
listening.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you guys.
Thank you
With
so
that-
much, man.
Yep.
Have a good
All
night.
right, Joe. Have a
Take
good
it
night.
easy, brother.
Joe, thank you, sir.
Thank you, bud.
Bye.
Man, that was awesome.
that was awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're definitely
Very
gonna
cool,
have him
dude.
on again to catch up with him a little bit more on
for
some
sure,
things.
you know, like
Absolutely. Yeah.
I
Very
love his Twitter.
dude, very
feed.
mellow dude. I love
Yeah, him and I have been following each other for a little while now. So now with it just us. So real quick, Mario Day is Friday.
Sweet.
is it
Yes, it is
3/10? Yeah.
March 10th. And Nintendo is doing
Mario.
and Nintendo is doing a couple of things for the Nintendo or for Mario Day.
I just love that the way that it's Mario Day. Just
Yep.
March 10. Oh my god.
Like it.
God,
I like
we're
it.
getting a little nerdy, guys. We're getting a little nerdy. I
But
love it.
So anyway, for Mario Day,
Games are coming out. It's good.
so we're getting a Switch bundle.
Ooh, sick.
It's $2.99. It'll be available on Friday, March 10th.
Ooh, I like the
so
color of
those-
those Switch controllers.
So it is that Mario Red. They're bringing back the all red system they used to have back with the original Switch days. But with this bundle, you get the console and your choice of, now it's a digital download, but Mario Kart 8, new Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe, or Super Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, one of them.
Sweet.
So basically, you're getting, for $300, you're getting 360 worth of stuff for it, and every single one of those games is fantastic.
Yeah, but
I am
more than likely just get Mario Kart. Yeah,
another
That's the
game. You mean another game that can ruin friendships?
it's not as bad though. It's not as bad.
Triggering.
No.
It's triggering.
But
Like,
even then, though, like Mario, like new Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe is a fantastic 2D Mario game.
I would just say that's the one I would say you would get the most bang out of your buck, because it's such a multi-level like map. So I mean,
Oh yeah.
I think
for your
Mario
buck,
Kart. I think
but
Mario Kart, bro.
Mario Kart's great.
It's solid.
Well, so you
honestly,
gotta figure
single player.
Mario Kart with the course pack right now. I mean,
Oh,
you're
sweet,
getting, you
yeah.
get so much out
That's
of
a
that
good deal,
if you're
too.
on, Switch Online.
Mhm.
And then when you look at the other part of it that they're doing, is they are doing some games discounted.
Wow.
So for those that have been around the block and know Nintendo games, is that they
These
rarely
never go on sale.
Yeah. rarely
that's still
discount
a
their
good,
games.
That's a good deal.
Now, a lot of these games are available also for the Switch Online voucher program, which is 2 for $100, but even then, if you don't have that and you do it on your own, right, $40 for Mario Odyssey,
Dude,
Mario Brothers U, Mario Kart 8, Super Mario World 3D World, and Bowser Fury. Shout out to Kenny James. Speaking of Cat Bowser, you got Super Mario Maker 2. You've got Mario Party Superstars, Luigi's Mansion 3, which is fantastic. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, and Yoshi's Crafted World.
Also a good one.
So,
Yoshi.
right now, a lot of those
all
the
good
physical
games.
copies are
Oh,
already
yeah.
on sale for $39.99. Digital sale for Mario Day starts up on Friday. So Nintendo said check back then to see what the digital games are. I will probably
Sweet.
partake in that since I've got enough gold saved up on my account.
Sweet.
Even though we own at least one copy of actually all of those but 2. So we don't have Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze or Yoshi's Crafted World. But we've got multiple copies of Mario Party, multiple copies of
Mario Kart.
Mario Kart. Yeah.
I'm missing 3.
Yeah.
Which the third? What one don't you have?
I don't have Mario Party, Donkey Kong, or Mario Maker. But the only thing I think I would want was probably Donkey Kong.
I have not played that.
The rest
one
of the games I do have.
Donkey Kong
Really?
kind of lost my appetite after
Yeah.
it
Did it?
left. After it left the SNES, like it just
Oh,
wasn't my cup of tea
Yeah.
anymore. Like it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. I always kind of gravitated towards like the ones online. Like I always go to the number one. That's the one I've always really loved. So
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Mario
So
Maker is pretty cool. I've seen some
Mario Maker is
really,
really,
really
Dude,
messed up
some of
courses.
those YouTube videos are just like,
some of them,
Dude,
the
how
maps
much time
alone.
do you have?
the guy who did the all the fire chains.
Oh, I saw
where
that
you
one
have
too.
to time it just like
That was
so
insane.
perfectly
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, and the moment like you jumped, you had to grab like whatever shell was there, like timed it right.
Yeah.
Oh, it was insane.
The tech that some of those levels have are just like, dude, you could do that in Mario? Like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. And yet we used to have trouble with the base game.
Right. So I know on a personal level, right? Mario has meant a lot to all of us because I mean we've all grown up with Nintendo.
Yeah.
You know, Nintendo is always going to be my favorite. Metroid, you know, God, you guys know me in Metroid. I mean, that goes way back for me.
Oh, didn't Fusion come out today? Did you download?
No, Fusion is the 9th. So we got
9th.
that's
Okay.
Thursday.
Yeah.
So I have 2 days to finish off 7%
Finish
of
Prime.
Metroid Prime Remastered.
You'll do it.
Yeah, I believe in you.
I definitely
I'm at the
believe
end.
in you.
Like I already have the artifacts, so I could really go do end game stuff if I really wanted to and
Oh, sweet.
go face Meta Ridley. I will probably just do that and go back and then try and finish out everything on 100% later. But you know, from a podcast perspective, Nintendo means a heck of a lot to me. It's just that, you know, Nintendo is the first one that took a real, you know, gamble on us. You know, when we were starting off and requesting, you know, press access and stuff like that, Nintendo is the first one that said yes to us. So for me, like, you know, when Mario Day comes around, I love it. You know, I love it. You know, I told Cody it was Mario Day and whatnot. He wants to wear his Mario shirt to school on Friday, and
Nice.
I'll be rocking my Mario shirt on Friday and whatnot. But no, I think when you look at Nintendo as a whole, it's always stayed true, and it's always been that whole funny thing is like, oh, it's just Nintendo being Nintendo. They always go to the beat of their own drum, hence going from the SNES and going to N64, and then deciding to go to the GameCube of all things. And then to the Wii, and then the Wii U, and then to the Switch, right? And the Switch is now 6 years old. When you think about it,
is it really 6?
Yeah, that's still pretty insane to think about, man.
Already,
yeah,
you know, and whatnot, and it's still humming along. You know, granted, it's time for a new system. Rumor is we're looking winter now of this, you know, winter 2023, but going off their fiscal calendar, that could be January, February as well. But that's the rumor, is it's a Switch 2 we're going to be getting.
It's just crazy because, you know, like it's always been that handheld, like ever since the Game Boy, since like I see some of those old Game Boy games on the Switch Online. And I'm just like, dude, I remember playing these, and I remember just like nonstop, because you could carry the brick around. And me and my wife were actually talking about it. We're like, dude, remember the brick, and remember the Game Boy Advance, and like I remember getting the Game Boy Color, and you're just like, oh my god, everything has different colors. Like, and you just
I remember being so excited for getting the Nomad, and then ultimately just disappointment.
And then
you
just
talk
like,
about that,
oh
Jay, is with Switch Online, right? For Game Boy, with Game Boy Color, they put in filters so you could actually replicate the different handhelds.
That was super cool. I tried those out. Yeah, it was cool.
It's just like, dude, like Nintendo does beat their own drum, but you always remember because of, like I said many times, it is the family system. Like it will always be the family system. Whenever you have like younger gamers, like you always introduce them to Nintendo, because Nintendo has very like straightforward games. There's not like a whole lot to think about, but then there are games that you have to think a lot about, or you're just like enjoying the whole aspect of playing a game and just enjoying the ride.
And I think what's funny is you bring that up, right? And I look at having, because we have the PS5 and the Switch, right? And the kids have tried to play Sackboy and Astros, but there's just enough complex mechanics in there that it frustrates them. Yet you put a Switch in their hands and they will play Mario Maker. They will play Mario, Mario 3D Land and everything with no problem. Like, and in some cases, I compare it to how I was a kid at that age. I'm like, they're doing stuff I didn't even think of when I was playing Mario for the first time, back in the mid 80s. So it is always going to be that family system.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
just
whatnot.
catch up with the controllers.
Catch up with the controllers.
Yeah, with the oh god, what was the one we were talking about with Microsoft? The
the adaptive controllers.
Adaptive controller. Yeah, just catch up with the adaptive.
One thing we have said from minute one when we first started talking about the adaptive controller years ago is that they want to share that technology with Sony, with Nintendo, and nobody took them up on it. Yeah, Sony went and designed their own one, but you know what? Ever since they did that first announcement almost a month ago now, we haven't heard peep about it. So, I would absolutely love Nintendo to come out with an adaptive controller, or B, allow Microsoft's adaptive controller to be used on the Switch.
Also, man, like that little Microsoft Sony or the Microsoft Nintendo thing might bear fruition. Might be that first bridge, that first plank for the bridge.
Exactly.
Never know.
Yep. So we will talk about Last of Us in the next week or two. Episode 8 happened this weekend. So we got 2 episodes left, 9 and 10, and then that's kind of done. But let's kind of end things out of what we've been playing. And you know what? I'll go first.
Yeah, go first, man.
I rarely go first.
Yeah.
So, yes, Metroid Prime, 93% on that one. I have pretty much all that's left is a couple of scans and some expansions for the missiles and the power bombs and energy tanks. Other than that, I have all the suits, all the beams, all the visors, all of that stuff. The redesign on my island is fully underway now.
Nice. The new addiction is back.
This is going to be a big one too, because I am building a basketball stadium on my island. And I'm going to do it. Hold on. I'm going to do it where I actually have stairs going up to a second level. So like, I'm going to actually do kind of like a bowl if I can.
A dome.
I'm going to try and, let's go orange. But, and then I'm going to put on, I'm going to figure out a way to actually build a pseudo baseball stadium. So, in the spirit of Field of Dreams, if you build it, he will come. I'm gonna level some stuff and build a baseball stadium.
Oh my god!
I'm so glad I never got into Animal Crossing. I am so glad. I could have been like Matt. No, I'm just kidding. Like I just.
Hey, you know what? I don't regret any of the 800 hours I've put into Animal Crossing.
See, I totally get it. I totally get it.
That's Red Dead level, sir.
Yeah, that's why I love fishing and hunting, and yeah,
that's Red Dead level.
Hey, speaking of which, I got one of my fish. The whole reason I did the last redesign on the island, I caught one of the fish.
Oh yeah, you finally got it.
Yeah, so I finally got that.
Sweet.
Yeah, so on my Switch, it's showing that it's 765 hours or
that's
more.
Hilarious.
Of Animal Crossing.
That's amazing.
I know
that's Skyrim hours.
That is Skyrim. I saw my season going with MLB The Show.
Sweet, go Dodgers.
Shush.
Go Dodgers.
Go Dodgers.
My 2 losses on that season.
Yeah,
I am 7-2. My 2 losses are the freaking Dodgers in the opening series. So, but I have started up a season of NBA 2K23. Now I finally
we were talking about this too. Like you may have convinced me to try it,
and got past the whole registering. I was like, screw it, let's just do it. Let's see what happens. And it is fantastic. And I've realized that AI doesn't really know how to bust a properly run 2-3 zone.
You're dominating.
Oh, dude. So we talked about, I beat the Golden State Warriors
right
by 30, held Seth Curry to 9 points.
Oh, that's right. You told me that earlier.
Heck.
Yeah, dude. And then I played Oklahoma City, which gave me in my last game, they gave me a fit. That was up by 1 point at the half, but then I opened up a 12-0 run and just buried them after that. Because they tried running a zone. I know how to beat a zone. You got to slash in, make people drop into the lane to defend, and then you kick it out to the open man. That's how you beat the zone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what benefits to being a Syracuse fan my entire life.
Sweet. Yeah.
But that's been and a little bit of Fire Emblem splashed in there. Nice. And I was like, did a little bit of DLC. New DLC launched today, so I'm gonna have to go get part of that and do some of that as well.
Sweet.
A Switch putting in work.
Yeah,
dude, Switch is putting in work.
I did the video a couple weeks back where it is my primary system. It is getting a lot of work right now.
Putting in work.
I mean, but it's what I want to play now. I'm not going to put NBA 2K23 on there because it requires 55 gig of install.
Damn.
And 8 of that has to be freed up system memory. So I'm not going to nuke all my free available space for that when honestly, it looks way better on a PS5 anyways.
Yeah.
And I don't know about if I'm going to get the show on the Switch or not. It's pre-ordered on my PS5 and frankly,
stay that way, honestly,
I want to see those blades of grass.
Yeah.
You know,
the sweat beads.
Yeah.
The bricks on the wall at Coors Field and all of that and whatnot. So yeah, it's been just a little bit of that. What do you, Jerry, what you been playing as you prepare to move?
As I'm preparing to move, I've been playing a little bit, but mainly still Hogwarts. I'm still exploring the castle and trying to, I got fixed on trying to find every little thing, man.
Red Dead 3.
I might want to 100% this one.
This is Jerry's Red Dead.
Wait, hold on.
Might be my magical Red Dead.
Can we say the word again? Can we say that word? You just said you're going to do 100%. What's that equate to on PlayStation?
A platinum, but
you're going to go for the platinum.
If I can, I might. The motivation is there.
I know you're not a trophy hunter. That's why I'm like, okay, but I know.
But the motivation is there for. It's always there for particular.
But there's
games.
always those games, right?
Yeah,
there's always those games.
It's like
one. I think I might want to I'm enjoying it so much. I might want to just go the distance and try.
I was like that with Dread. That I loved it so much. I wanted to get every single little item.
Yeah.
Prime remastered. I'm almost
because it's just so engaging and there's so much like it's Harry Potter. There's so much lore. Yeah. Even with the side quests, you're learning something, which is just a little bit interesting, just to make you want to keep going. So man, I'm just I'm really impressed by it. So it's that, and I actually dusted off the Switch a little bit. I played a little bit of Prime, and I got back into Mario 3D World Mario for a little bit.
Nice. There you go, man. Nice. It's but good luck though.
Thank you, baby.
I'm still on the fence about getting that Hogwarts, man.
Everybody that I know on Twitter and everything has said the game is phenomenal.
It's so good.
I mean, I told my wife about it. I was like, yeah, it's kind of like Harry Potter and Red Dead put together. And she's like,
God, bro,
and she's like, oh my God. And I'm like, I know. And I was like, both of us are just literally
just wait until you unlock more spells, bro.
Yeah, it's how much time do we want to put in this?
It's so great.
It's gonna lock up the PS5 nonstop.
Yup. But that's been what I've been playing. What about you, J-Bone?
I haven't been playing much this week, actually. Unfortunately, we had a little mishap, or not a mishap, but there was a little emergency with one of the doggos on Thursday. So, yeah, so we're just okay, focus that a little bit more. Although, just at night, on the wind down, getting ready for bed, I am jumping, depending on if my wife's using the Switch or if I am, because we'll switch the PS5 and the Switch. I'm unlocking a lot more of content on Detroit. So I'm like just literally just looking at how do I do this? How do I do that for
to get the platinum?
For different storylines. Although we still laugh every time because one of the trophies literally is to have one of the main character die every single time you can.
That's so messed up.
And it's hilarious because like the ways that he dies, it's just like, well, I literally had to sit in one spot for like 6 minutes because I was just like, okay, like I have to go through this route. And I'm sitting there for 6 minutes. I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna step outside or I'll take like a small break. He's bathroom and he's just still standing there. And I'm like, yeah, okay, 5 minutes left. But yeah, the PlayStation been on Detroit, or if she's playing, it'll be on Dead Space, and on the Switch, it's either Arceus still with her, or I am trying to finish off all the I'm trying to finish off Shining Force 1 and 2 because I still can never stop playing those games. But we have like a huge backlog, so we're just like
trying to work at it.
Yeah, because I mean the Bayonetta comes out in just under 2 weeks. So, you know, we have the Bayonetta or the Cereza and the Magic, so that one's coming out, and we're just like, we're setting up for all the Final Fantasy games, all the Zelda games, everything that's coming out in the next couple months. So we're trying. Are you gonna get
the Pixel remasters?
I don't think so. I haven't fully dived. Like I said, like we're just focusing on the AAA, the major titles right now, and we're just like, okay, we'll see. But
see, I struggle with that because I own them all on my Vita, like all the different released ones that they have.
Yeah.
So
I
don't know if I really need to go and rebuy them again, because I guess for me, Final Fantasy really didn't start hitting until 7 for me.
Yeah, see, like 4 for me. What is it? 4 and 5, 4 and 6, because those are the ones that were 2 and 3. And
stateside,
stateside. Those will always have a big heart for me. Mystic Quest was probably the first one that just like jumped at me, and I was like, oh my god, I love this. But again, like with 1, 2, 3, it's not. It's like it's like history, you know. Like you should do it. You should play it. Do I need to? Maybe not.
Yeah.
But 4 and 6 is the only ones that where it's like so iconic.
I mean, to be truthful, for Final Fantasy, like purists, if you don't play those, you're not like a true fan, because I mean, I tell everybody, like I've played through, I think maybe 2. I think I barely remember. 7 for me was it. Like that's what really introduced me. Like you said, Matt, like that's how we were introduced. That's where we fell in love with it. For me, it was 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9, 10. That was my run of love for Final Fantasy, and I still love those games.
Yeah, and again, it's just literally like you pick and choose, and sometimes the stories that the old ones have, they don't hit, you know, and that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. You know, like you feel you get a whole sense of the full story.
Yeah,
but you just, you know, it's like Star Wars, man. You can cut out one movie, and we all know that movie. But you know, just
for me,
it's there. It's there.
But the pod racing, though. I mean, Darth Maul. I mean, you cannot. Come on, you cannot cut out one of the most badass.
Oh no, I was talking about Last Jedi and Rise. The sequels are bangers, dude. Well, keep all 3.
Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, keep Attack of the Clones. You know, you had a lot of good seriousness from the first one, action movie in the middle, and then a blast of an ending.
Yeah,
I was I enjoyed the sequels.
Yeah, see, like
I love Revenge of the Sith.
No.
or any.
But don't get me
little-
wrong. I agree. Attack was the weakest. It was the action movie of the trilogy. But still,
Speaking of which,
it was an action. It was a cool action movie.
But I'm
is
just
out
saying,
and
you
has
know,
a home.
it's
Nice.
it's like you pick and choose. It's just like Marvel, you know, like you just throw all of it away. You don't need to, but you can still be a
Stop
Marvel
it.
fan.
No.
You know,
Be quiet. Don't
You know,
bring up Marvel.
I'm still a
You don't need to
Marvel
bring up
fan. I
Marvel.
just will like destroy the entire like. Don't let me see
Sick.
100 hours of stuff. You know, like, I don't need 100
Hey.
hours. I just need like 10
hey,
hours. And you're like,
Jason,
oh,
Jason, I love you 3000.
all I
With-
care.
So with that, what do you think?
No more Marvel movies. God, like
Stop it.
Quantumania. I'll probably see that one and then just
Dude,
stop.
Quantumanium,
It was okay.
that one is getting raked
It was okay.
on Rotten Tomatoes. But anyways, with that, I want to thank everybody for crashing Game Night with us tonight that came out and hung out with us and Joe Hernandez. Make sure to go to crashinggamenight.com, check out his profile if you want to check out a link to his Twitter account and to his actual website where you can go in, learn more about him and whatnot. If you like what you heard, make sure to drop us a follow. You can either do that here on Twitch, where we record every Tuesday night, or we're available on all audio podcasting platforms, or you can head on over to youtube.com/crashing game night to go right over and over to our YouTube profile. We'll be getting that link updated on our website as well, since they've done that new system. But with that, guys, I just want to say, with everything going on right now in these times, and especially how hard it is with inflation and everything going on right now, everybody's under stress right now. So please just be excellent to each other.
That is right, everybody. Thank you, all of my nerds, for joining. Thank you for hanging out. Once again, let's just try and be a little bit better. Let's just try and show a little bit more compassion and love and lend out a helping hand here and there. And yeah, man. And this is the last episode I will be recording in Arizona, since I am heading back to Cali, baby, heading back home. And
Yep.
I can't wait. I'm excited, and new chapter in the life. And
No.
J Bone, I'll be close by.
Oh, so we can hang out this time?
Oh God, I knew.
Hey, I was
knew
like,
you were
hey
gonna-
Jerry, I know you're out here. Like, hit me up.
I was there for literally a few days. I was getting everything prepared. Ew. But I get it. But thank you all, and yeah, man. Let's
Yeah.
just do a little better and spread a little bit more love.
Yeah. All right. It's okay, Jerry. You're coming back to Cali.
Thank you.
I wanted to do that. That's the only time I could do this. But you know, as we wrap up the show, you know, just definitely, obviously, another shout out to Joe. You know, he's
Thank you very much,
you're
man.
always welcome back, man. Chill.
Yeah.
Glad
Yep.
you had a good time. You know, it's what is it? 3/7 that we're recording this on March 7th. A few days Mario Day, you know. Just around the corner, St. Patrick's Day. So
Yep.
everybody out there, just as always, stay safe out there. I know a lot of normalcy has happened, so you know, let's just be normal. Let's just be awesome to each other, as Matt says, you know, because we don't need all this craziness. We really don't.
Yeah.
So please just be safe out there, as always. Shout outs to everybody that are finally done with all the retail stuff. You know, we're finally done. It's into March and people are like, oh wow. No, it's finally done. You know, Valentine's was come and gone. You know, so we're in the home stretch. So again, please stay safe out there. And as always, I don't have my boy Theo Walski. I miss you. I need that button. I miss
We
that
miss
button.
you, Theo.
I miss you tonight, but it's okay. You do work. You gotta make that money, make that cheddar.
Yep.
But I'll set you up, dude. I'll set you.
But
My man.
oh, man, no, stop it, Jerry. Stop. You messed it up last time with Theo.
No, I
So
didn't,
my
because
man,
I wanted
my
to.
man, Matt Diorio, host. Send us off like Theo would.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. TTFN. Ta-ta for now. Good night,
Good night,
everybody.
My man.
Yeah. I knew it.
Oh, good night.